Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler. Great game tonight. We are finally there. Dallas got the breaks they needed. Dak Prescott looked good. First game back after horrific injury. Couldn't say much more about it. I tell you what, folks, I don't think they're going to win tonight, but I really like this Cowboy team, the offseason moves that they've made. Offensively, you see that they're really sharp. Uh, I'm very confident in them to win the NFC West. Everybody needs some breaks. This game's a lot closer than I thought it would be. But hey, it's the NFL. Anything can happen when you have a couple fluke turnovers. Also, another thing, I've been hesitant about this Raven team. I talked to you guys the other day about these injuries with J.K. Dobbins. Marcus Peters tore his ACL today. Gus Edwards, their other running back, tore his ACL. Justice Hill tore his ACL earlier this week. L.J. Fort, also ACL tear. Rookie Rashad Bateman placed on the IR with a growing injury. I was not going to put them into the playoffs before we got started, and now I feel confident about that. It happens. It's very fortunate for the Raven fans and Raven Nation. I get it. It seemed like we had that issue here in Tennessee with the Titans probably about 15, 18 years ago in the early 2000s when they were trying to make their Super Bowl run. It starts in training camp. Teams get snake bit. The good thing is you'll get a better draft pick and you'll have to throw the ball more. You can evaluate Lamar Jackson. That's a big story. I'm going to go rapid fire. I want to get done with this before not too much into the second half. I'm really into the game as you are. Played a lot of fantasy lineups tonight. Really excited. Just a really good game. Good to hear the crowds and everything back into it. So what we're going to do tonight, go over the AFC South, go over the AFC West. I'll give you my AFC Super Bowl prediction and a Super Bowl winner, okay? All righty then. Houston, we'll start off there. Nothing new on Deshaun Watson other than he's not going to play. Tyrod Taylor's going to play Sunday against Jacksonville. Not a lot to say there. This team, got David Culley here. May make some more trades. I want to say they made a trade traded away a cornerback to the Saints. This team is probably going for the number one pick. They're doing what the Jacksonville Jaguars done last year. And they are the odds-on favorite to get that number one pick. I expect Deshaun Watson possibly to be traded by the deadline if something big happens, but he might not even play a single snap this season. This team is loading up on draft picks. They're trading away players. I think they'll be sellers at the trading deadline if they can find a way to trade off of David Johnson, someone of that nature. Anybody that's making any kind of money that's left on the roster, maybe a Brooks or somebody of that nature, whoever they think that they feel like they can trade of value, that they will do so. I think this team will probably get the number one pick. I don't think they're going to go they got to play Tennessee twice. They've got to play Jacksonville, teams that give up big plays. I think they'll probably get a game or two. I mean, they're playing teams like they got the Jets at home. They may be in 2 or 3 games, but management, coaching staff in the back of their mind, they're thinking, let's just do this, get through it. Let's try to find some things and improve on. I was looking at their secondary. It's going to be bad. Vernon Hargraves, guys that's been moved off other teams. My thing is they're going to get the number one pick. Not going to waste a lot of time on the Houston Texans. Moving right along. Okay, the Colts. The Colts, like the Baltimore Ravens, a team they've seemed to be getting snake bit by injury. I want to say one of their receivers, not named T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton's going to be out for a while. Michael Pittman may have a breakout year, but you got Paris Campbell here. He's banged up. He's got a nagging injury as well. You've got Carson Wentz. He was banged up most of the Brian. He was banged up most of training camp. He's got a whole new staff of players he's playing with, new team, new organization. I just not got them even in the playoffs. Some people are still picking them to beat the Titans in the division. I am not one of those people. You start to look at the players that they have been injured. You start to look at their schedule, the way it's starting off. If you look at their schedule, this team could essentially go the Colts. They could essentially go 0-5. I mean, seriously. They're playing Seattle, Rams, at Tennessee, at Miami. Now, they may beat Baltimore now. That would be 1-4, possibly there. And then, of course, they got Houston. They could beat Houston. But they got to play at San Francisco. They got to play Tampa this year. They have to play New England this year. They got to play at Arizona. So this Colts team, I'm thinking of probably 9-8, 10-7. They're not going to win this division. I think they're going to lose some tiebreakers if they get into tiebreakers because they're playing in a division with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Flipping right through, going rapid fire here. Jacksonville, going to be a fun team to watch. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. Like I said on the Mac and Jack show the other day, guys, Trevor Lawrence made some adjustments. I like their game plan going into the last preseason game against Dallas. They have a shot to win. I think they'll probably win Sunday against Houston. They're not going to win too many games this year. They're probably going to win anywhere from 2-5. They're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Total rebuild. Travis Etienne's out for the season. This is just getting Trevor Lawrence, getting his feet wet, just trying to get him used to the pro game, getting guys like Chenault, the wide receiver there, really good player, come out of nowhere last year, getting people like him involved, develop some chemistry with DJ Shark. Of course, he was injured, of course. But this is going to be a fun team to watch, fun team to play fantasy against, fun team to play fantasy with. They're going to give a ton of points. I think that'll be a great fantasy game, guys, that Houston and Jacksonville. Both teams, really bad defenses. Tyrod Taylor, pretty competent quarterback. He'll get the ball to some of their playmakers. And, of course, Trevor Lawrence. That'll be an interesting game to see, even though it's the bottom feeders bowl, if you ask me, okay? So, I'm saying probably top 5 for Jacksonville. I think Houston's going to get the number 1 pick. I think Jacksonville will probably pick in the top 5 with teams like Detroit and whatnot to get those picks. They still need players, okay? So, it's getting easier for me to pick Tennessee here. I was a little concerned about A.J. Brown. He missed practice on Wednesday. He was with the knee injury, sore knee, full practice today. Team brings in Julio Jones. They had a lot of issues there on the defensive pass rush here, but they got this guy Shane Bowen and Jim Schwartz, former Tennessee Titans defensive coordinator. Not really liking his secondary, but he will teach the guys have a little bit better run defense there. Tennessee. Really good that brought in Bud Dupree. He's coming back from ACL. By the way, Bud Dupree has been practicing. Not all ACL injuries are the same, everybody. Again, Tennessee lose 2 corners. Malcolm Butler, he's contemplating retirement. Tennessee did the right thing by cutting him. Adoree Jackson, he's already hurt. I want to say he went to the Giants. He only played 4 or 5 games last year. They bring in guys like Janoris Jenkins and Kristen Fulton, got him back in a second year. They drafted Caleb Farley. So I think that they're going to be okay. They've also brought in Danico Autry from the Colts. He's supposedly having a pretty good camp there. Brought in Janoris Jenkins. They're going to be better in the secondary. They've got Taylor Lewan back at left tackle. Going to have one of the better offenses in the league. Going to have one of the better offensive lines this year. I expect a career year out of Ryan Tannehill. I like them to win Sunday against Arizona here at home. So I'm thinking this team is probably sitting here at around 11-6. And a side note, yeah, Adoree Jackson played 3 games last year. So John Robertson, good job letting Adoree Jackson go, getting rid of Malcolm Butler, letting Corey Davis, who was inconsistent, he went over to the Jets. Jonnu Smith, another tight end, inconsistent. He went over to the New England Patriots. Good call, All-State there. So I've got Tennessee Titans winning the AFC South, everybody, okay? Not really a hot take, but if you ask some of the national people, they're saying that bad schedule is not going to be a big deal for the Colts. They like the Colts offensive line. They like their overall roster. They're a little too high on a Carson Wentz. That's not me. Okay. AFC West. You know what? I like what Denver's done in the offseason, guys. I'm telling you, now that Baltimore's practically out of it, with the Colts reeling, Denver is one of my sleeper teams to possibly get into the playoffs. I'll go over my AFC playoff picture here in just a little bit. Denver's going to be in the hunt all year this year. Last year, Von Miller got hurt. They just got injury. One of their cornerbacks got hurt. He's no longer on the team. Made some really good offseason acquisitions. Quite frankly, they made some moves, guys, that I didn't think that they could possibly pull off, like bringing in all-star cornerback Cal Fuller, Pro Bowl level player from the Chicago Bears. Terrible move by the Bears to let him go. I did not like that. Good pickup for the Denver Broncos. Number 1, according to Pro Football Focus, best secondary in the NFL coming into this year. And I totally get it. They brought in Ronald Darby from Washington, another excellent cornerback. Teddy Bridgewater got him in. He wins a starting job. I have total faith in Bridgewater over an erratic, up-and-down player like Drew Lock. Never a Drew Lock guy. Bridgewater, not the most talented player in the world, but I do like him to beat the Giants Sunday, guys. I do like their running back that they drafted out of North Carolina. With Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, they're going to have a good 1-2 attack there. This team has got 10th defensive line ranked in the country, 21st offensive line, but they're going to have a good running game. They have a really good shot. Now, of course, their head coach, Vic Fangio, he's on the hot seat. He's fully aware of that. He's not going to take any more chances with a guy like Drew Lock and his coach and future ahead. No, of course not. And, of course, the Giants, with their 32nd ranked offensive line coming in, Barkley might not be playing. Some of these guys that wear the blue and red, white, and blue giant color sunglasses are all thinking that this is going to work out for the Giants. No, thank you. I think the Giants are not going to get into the playoffs. I'd already not have them getting in, and I got them losing Sunday. But this team right here, I like their chances to get in. I got them going in around 11-6. They're going to be right down to the end, borderline playoff contending team for a wild card. Interesting team. Okay, I'm just going in, and guys, I'm doing this in the order of the that I have on this Lindy's magazine, and I'll give you my playoff predictions, rapid fire as we go. Okay, all right, Chiefs. Again, I like the Chiefs this year. I like the fact that they got Orlando Brown. They brought in Joe Tooney at offensive line. They did lose Eric Fisher there and Schwartz, but they've also brought in Jared Reed, defensive tackle. Remember him, guys, from the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, but they did lose Rashad Breeland in free agency. And they've got 3 new offensive line they're going to be playing, okay? My problem with them is, and plus Frank Clark has still got that gun charge pending him on defense. My issue with Kansas City is, for one thing, their division's gotten better. They're not going to be a 1 seed. They are simply not going to be a 1 seed this year. For one thing, how many times have you seen a team win a lose a Super Bowl and become a 1 seed the next year? Never. I've not seen that. How many times have you seen a team not named New England, guys, in the past 25, 30 years, get the 1 seed, get the 1 seed 2 years in a row. Not even the Patriots. The Patriots have done it, but it's very rare to get that because you're having to have a lot of breaks go your way. So my thing is, I do like them with their offense, and they're in the right amount of depth they have on their defensive side to probably go anywhere from to have, I don't know, 3 to 4 losses. I'm thinking 13-4, something like that. Okay, they're going to win the AFC West. That is not a big hot take there, and I will tell you their seeding here in a minute. But this is going to be a highly competitive division. Other than the Raiders may upset. Well, they did upset Kansas City. The Raiders will be competitive, but they always seem to fall apart, guys. Now, the Chargers. Now, I like this team, the Chargers. I'm telling you. Really up, you've got the Rookie of the Year here, Justin Herbert, Darwin James back. This guy is an excellent safety, major playmaker for this team. When healthy, he's back healthy. Made some big plays in training camp. Picked off Jimmy Garoppolo, took it to the house. I saw that streaming there off of the internet. They brought in a all-pro center from the Packers. Packers should never let Corey Lindsey go, but they did, and now they have brought him in to play with Justin Herbert, folks. Now, they did lose Hunter Henry, but they brought in Jared Cook. So I like that. I like the fact that they brought in, drafted Rashawn Slater. He's doing a good job blocking Joey Bosa in practice. Slater's a first-round pick out of Northwestern. Great pick there for the LA Chargers. They've also brought in a player from Matt Fire, a guard from, I want to say he came in from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pro Football Focus has their offensive line. They were 32nd last year. They're like 18th. They're projected to be right around 18th, something like that. And then they've got Brandon Staley here, Joe Lombardi, who comes over from the Saints. They're going to have a much better offensive line. Now, I did read that Austin Eckler has gotten injured. He's got a little nagging injury thing going today. I don't say he practiced. I got him losing that opening game to the Washington football team and everything. Pickles. Slater has really good footwork there, but I like big things out of this team, guys. I think they beat Dallas in week 2. Okay. I've got them losing to Washington, to New England, at Denver, losing the game to Kansas City, but I got them beating Kansas City. I got them 11-6, 12-5. Got this team in the playoffs. I like what this Chargers team's done in the offseason. I like the coaching. I like the quarterback there. I like the fact that they've gotten him help. And I like the fact if Darwin James stays healthy and you keep Joey Bosa out there, you're going to have a formidable defense. This team drafts well. They let guys go left and right. Very tough to throw on this team. They're just always been a tough out. Remember, they went 7-9 last year and lost a lot of really close one-score games. That's why their head coach was fired. Really bad clock management there. But I do like Staley, and I like his staff that he's got around him. Very young guy, I get it. But you really can't screw this up if you put the right type of people around you with a guy like Justin Herbert. Totally wrong about him. Okay. All right, Raiders. Raiders are just the Raiders. They're always making these big moves, and they're very erratic. I did like the fact the more I read about this Alex Leathers, this right tackle, first-round pick, I think he's going to be okay. But my biggest issue with them is their defense is bad. It's around 30th in points allowed. They try to trade with the Bears to get Khalil Mack back. They did pick up Yannick Ngakoue, who's kind of bounced around the league. They got guys like John Brown, Carl Joseph. They did lose Rodney Hudson, their center, and Gabe Jackson, who's now with the Seattle Seahawks. Lost Nelson Aguilar, and they've got guys like Henry Ruggs, and of course Darren Waller, Ruggs was really inconsistent last year, Brian. You said something about Ruggs earlier. But I'll tell you what, man. This team right here, I do got them upset in Baltimore with all those injuries to Baltimore Monday night. But my guess is they're probably going to be about a 6-11 football team. And I think that John Gruden will probably have the owner fire Mike Mayock for his personnel decisions, and that's probably how that thing is going to end. Then again, maybe he just discussed about recruiting. I don't know. 4 years, 10-year contract. I'm not so sure about that. Okay, let's go to the playoff picture here. Rapid fire. I want to get back to the game, guys. All right, Cleveland Browns. I've got them 14-4. Chiefs 14-4. 14-3, 13-4, something like that. Either way, I got the Browns winning Sunday, guys. Okay? I got the Browns going up there winning Sunday. I've got the Browns as the number 1 seed in the AFC. I've got the Chiefs, which could drop. I don't think they're going to kind of breaks. They may even lose the division to this Charger team, possibly. Okay, I got them 13-4, something of that nature, or 14-3, 14-4. They're going to get the 2 seed, which is huge because they're going to have to play in the wild card round. Remember, there's only one bye for these last 2 years. I've got the Buffalo Bills as the 3 seed. Okay. Nothing new there. A little tougher schedule, but they get through it. They get the 3 seed. I've got the Tennessee Titans winning the South. I just talked about them. They've got the 4 seed. Here are my wild cards in order. The 5 seed, I've got the New England Patriots. I really like what they've done. They're going to make the playoffs. Just mentioned the LA Chargers here. As the 6th seed, getting in as a wild card. 7th seed. This one's a tough one, Brian. This one was tough. It was between Miami, Denver, and Pittsburgh. From what I've seen, even with 4 offensive linemen, TJ Watt, massive $100 million signing today. He will be there. This team had a great secondary last year. A lot of players back. Devin Bush. I like the fact that they took Najee Harris. They're going to throw the ball to the running backs a lot. Everything is going to be short. I like what Matt Canada is doing in the preseason and what they're doing in the regular season. If Roethlisberger stays healthy this whole year, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will get in the playoffs as a 7th seed. I do not think that the Ravens are going to make it. I do not think that the Colts are going to make it. I think that with a break here or there, that a team like Denver could very well get in. In Miami, the only reason I didn't take them, they also have a bad offensive line. But they're good enough everywhere else with the running game that they could slide in there. That 7th seed is going to be a dogfight all the way up to week 18, everybody. So, again, Pittsburgh. I did not see this happening. But after looking at their strength of schedule, looking at the players they've got back, the shape that Jim Roethlisberger's in, which is really good right now, and the scheme of the offense, it all looks good for them. They'll probably sweep Baltimore. Baltimore's a snake bit right now with injuries. Marcus Peters tore his ACL today again. And, of course, Gus Edwards, the other running back. It's just a snake bit type of thing. So, round 1, wild card round. Pittsburgh will play at Kansas City. Kansas City wins that game easily. Kansas City moves on to the next round. The Chargers will play at Buffalo. Not quite ready for prime time. I like Josh Allen to pull it off. Buffalo to get the win. Advance to the next round. The New England Patriots will play at the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee has matched up really well against them in the past. Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, Vrabel, the former student, has played well against the teacher there. I like the Titans to advance to the second round in the divisional round. Okay, that means Tennessee being the 4th seed, they will play at Cleveland. Tennessee runs into a buzzsaw there. Cleveland, with the deepest team in the league, I think in the AFC, they beat Tennessee and advance to the AFC Championship. I want to say we're talking over 30 years here, the last time that they've been in the AFC Championship game, okay? Buffalo, kind of like last year, they go to Kansas City. It's close. Kansas City pulls away at the very end. Now Kansas City has to go to Cleveland. Kansas City has to go to Cleveland. Cleveland's a little bit deeper. Cleveland beat them earlier this year. This Sunday in week 1, Cleveland beats Kansas City to get back in the Super Bowl. I want to say this is the first time in the Super Bowl era that the Cleveland Browns will be in the Super Bowl this year. I did not think it was going to work out this way, but guys, I spent all day Sunday, most of the day Monday night, and I even spent some time yesterday into the evening looking over game by game, matchup by matchup, and I've got the Cleveland Browns taking on the team that's playing tonight, the Tampa Bay Bucks, in the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, okay? I do think that, and I put money on this. I put my money where my mouth is. I bet this game already. Other teams that could possibly make it, Buffalo against the San Francisco 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to be a really good team. That could be another possibility, okay? Could Tennessee's defensive new players come together and that veteran team with their running game, offensive line, offensive weapons, they could possibly get in there as well? Could the Rams hang on and keep Andrew Whitworth healthy and possibly slide in there in the NFC? Absolutely. Those are bubble teams, though, guys. I'm going with the quality teams, quality depth. It's their time. Cleveland Browns, Tampa Bay Bucks. I think Tampa, this team, is you got a veteran quarterback here. We saw that pass that Brady made to Antonio Brown. I think that they figure out a way to do it. I'm thinking, I don't know, 31-24, something of that nature. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe 27 to 24, something like that. The Tampa Bay Bucks beat the Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland's got a great pass rush. They got the great running game. Could it go the other way and Baker Mayfield bring the Cleveland Browns a Super Bowl championship? Absolutely. I nailed the Super Bowl last year, but remember, Schwartz got hurt in the playoffs. Eric Fisher tore his Achilles in the AFC championship game that year. They got mauled by that deep Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line. So I think it could go either way. I'm picking Tampa to win it again over the Cleveland Browns, but it could very well, folks, be the Cleveland Browns winning the Super Bowl. So we'll see how that plays out. I did not, until I actually looked this over. Hold on, everybody. Change out my tag here. All right. Until I actually broke this down game by game, if you look at Pittsburgh's offensive line, we're seeing that Baltimore's falling apart before a game even starts. You look at Cincinnati's offensive line and lack of firepower on defense. Cleveland's going to have a really smooth path here in the AFC North. And listen, if Kansas City beats them, hey, I'll come over here and admit this on Tuesday's program that Kansas City was the better team here in September. And that could happen. But I just like the defensive players are easier to to plug and play early on rather than offensive players. If they had 5 or 6 offensive players, receivers, and offensive linemen, I would not pick Cleveland to win this opening week. But that's not the case. It's defensive players. Remember, Cleveland will have Odell Beckham back. 3 new offensive linemen there with the Kansas City Chiefs. Just not sure that's going to happen. I'm calling for that upset, and it's going to be crucial because it's going to come back and haunt Kansas City when they have to go into the playoffs, because I think the Cleveland Browns get the number 1 seed. So, Browns fans, you're welcome there, but I call balls and strikes. I am not a biased person. I just want to be right, and if I get it wrong, I want to get it right. So, anyways, I'm going to get back to the second half, everybody. Enjoy the games. I'll be back on Tuesday breaking down week 1, where I was right, where I was wrong, all that good stuff. And now Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Central Time, be on the Mac and Jack show. Guys got a really good show there. We'll be talking about this week in sports, probably some of the same topics. Tune in there on the Northeast Streaming Sports there on the Facebook or the Northeast Stream YouTube channel. I'll be there. So anyways, guys, we're here. Remember, I say this every week. We're at here in week 1. The countdown is over. The games begin. Like the Andy Williams song said, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I was telling my dad today that today's like Thanksgiving to me as a big-time NFL fan, and Sunday will be like Christmas. Okay? Have a good week, everybody. If you like the show, please share the show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Sports Scope. Follow me on Twitter at rbutler723. Subscribe to the podcast there, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, The Sports Scope. It will be out there. But either way, guys, I will see you Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Time, give or take a few minutes, here on Sports Scope.